Good evening and welcome to Ignite News on 6 at 6. It's Friday, July 11th, 2025. I'm Rihanna Nakram. Thanks for joining us. Here are the headlines. Former U.S. Senator Feingold says Ghana can use its oil wealth to protect its rich, natural environment. The GDF has commissioned its new Tecnam P-2012 aircraft to boost defense and support in remote regions. CSEC and CAPE candidates will start receiving exam fee refunds from July 14th. And Ghana Amazon Warriors lost by 8 runs in a thrilling clash with the Rangpur Riders at home. Former United States Senator and longtime conservation advocate Feingold says Ghana has a unique opportunity to use its oil wealth to protect its rich natural environment. Speaking on the latest episode of the United for Biodiversity podcast, Feingold expressed confidence in Ghana's leadership ahead of the upcoming Global Biodiversity Alliance Summit, set for July 23rd to 25th. He described the country's forests and ecosystems as green treasures and urged that revenues from the oil and gas sector be strategically invested to safeguard biodiversity, not only for Ghana, but as an example for the rest of the world.
Right now, there is no treaty that regulates the waters outside of a country's territorial waters. So your country would have certain rights to do things within a number of miles, but outside of that, 75% of the oceans aren't regulated at all. And so we've been working together and making great progress on getting the 60 countries to ratify that would bring that into effect, so there could be some kind of legal regime to protect that. And that's an important stability issue too, because we don't want people having at each other out in the open seas as they try to mine or get valuable resources.
He also stressed how important it is for countries to have legal mechanisms or democratic safeguards in place in order to take the protection of biodiversity seriously.
A legal tool that would be important for any country like yours that has enormous biodiversity is making sure there's a strong ability to protect in order to do that. And you have to also have the resources available. You can't just say, okay, we're protecting this place over here. There's got to be some money to pay for it. I remember I met with the lead forester in Rwanda a few years ago, and he said, well, we're going to designate this area. He said, but Senator, we don't have a forestry school. So we don't have a place where we can train people on how to, maintain a forest. That has to be part of it too. So having a, academic and practical way to train people to do that work is good work. It's important work. It should be well-paying work. And I would recommend it strongly for any country.
Feingold said the summit will present a powerful platform for Ghana to show how economic development and environmental protection can go hand in hand, and shared a critical piece of advice.
My advice would be that you have to do whatever you can up front to avoid the mistakes of the past of deforestation and environmental damage to the water and other things can occur as development occurs. You don't want your country to become one of those places that's called a place that has a resource curse. They often talk about Congo that way. It is the most amazing minerals and resources in the world. But because of the lack of concern and pressure to make sure that colonial governments didn't exploit it, as a result, the resource becomes a curse instead of a blessing. And what we wish for Guyana is that the discovery of oil becomes a blessing and not a curse.
The latest United for Biodiversity podcast places spotlight on how protecting nature can help build a more stable, sustainable, and democratic world. The Ghana Elections Commission has clarified how joinder of lists works under the Representation of the People Act after extensive discussions at its July 10th statutory meeting. A joinder of lists allows 2 or more political parties to combine their candidate lists to increase their chances of gaining seats in the National Assembly. While each party still appears separately on the ballot, their votes are counted together when seats are being allocated. Here's how it works. The total valid votes from all the parties in the joinder are added up. If that combination wins enough votes for at least 1 seat, an internal quota is calculated to divide seats fairly among the member parties. Surplus votes can decide who gets any leftover seats. If the combo only wins 1 seat, it goes to the party in the group that got the most votes. Each party keeps its own representative and deputy representative, who are responsible for naming MPs if seats are won. In the case of a vacancy in Parliament, only the same list that elected the original MP can fill it by selecting another qualified candidate from that list. GCOM says these rules follow the legal framework and are aimed at ensuring fairness and clarity in seat allocation. As Ghana prepares for its 2025 elections, international eyes are also turning our way. The European Union's Election Observation Mission to Ghana 2025 elections will be led by member of the European Parliament, Robert Bidron. The mission comes at the invitation of the Government of Ghana ahead of general and regional elections set for September 1, 2025. The deployment was approved by EU High Representative Kaja Kallas. Bidron is a Polish politician and LGBT activist who has been serving as a member of the European Parliament since 2019. In a statement, he said he was honored to lead the mission, describing elections as a key opportunity for Ghana to reaffirm its commitment to credible, peaceful democracy, especially during a period of economic transformation. The EU mission will provide a comprehensive, impartial assessment of the electoral process based on international and regional standards. A core team of 9 experts is expected in Ghana on August 23rd, with 14 long-term observers arriving earlier in the month. An additional 20 short-term observers and locally recruited personnel will join closer to Election Day to ensure broad national coverage. The EU last observed Ghana's elections in 2020. Still on elections, attention now shifts to the domestic campaign trail, as the governing People's Progressive Party Civic prepares to launch its election campaign this weekend. General Secretary Dr. Bharat Jagdeo has indicated that while there will be lots of messages delivered, the central theme will be about unity, progress, patriotism, prosperity, and growth. Speaking to members of the media during his weekly press briefing at Freedom House today, Dr. Jagdeo said he is excited for the launch, while noting that there will be no surprises.
Our message would be positive. Our message is positive. We're working for all Guyana. We're bringing people together across race. Everyone is included. Housewives, as young people, the people living with disability, or children, the miners, everybody, the rice farmers, the sugar workers, every group, public servants or joint services, they can look to our plan and see things for themselves, either directly or part of the things that affect society. They'll all see themselves in our plans. And every region is included. Every region, all 10 regions of our country, they're included in our development plan. So that's what, we have things to talk about. We can talk about what we did, the positive things, and there are lots to talk about.
The General Secretary boasted that the party is looking forward to executing the launch, winning and continuing its work.
We have a unifying campaign. That's what we are about. And so we're looking forward to the launch. We're looking forward to carrying our list on Monday. And we're looking forward to winning the elections and then resuming work the day after the elections, because we have not stopped working from the first day we took office. We have not stopped. If you go back and look at the images, from the first day we took office, August 2nd, 2020, we've been on the road all the time, every single day, high energy, pushing, transforming communities, getting things done, etc. We still have a lot more to do, and that's what you can expect from us.
Dr. Jagdeo stressed that there are still people who have not benefited from the country's development, but explained that the government will ensure that they are not excluded from the development plan through initiatives such as jobs and better housing. With regards to Nominations Day on Monday, the party's General Secretary revealed that it had a diverse list of young people, in addition to those with experience.
We're looking to deliver on a program. So if we had competent people and who can run sectors or there, we will put them back. We're not looking to juggle people around too much for the optics of it. We have a combination of young people and people who have been there with experience, because you need that. And we are determined at every level in the party, not just on the list, because people tend to look at the national list, but you also have the regional list, we have the local government elections, and then in our party structures, we grow the young people all the time. So you're going to see young people on the list, quite a few of young people on the list, but we're not looking for the optics politics. You'd find that the list would look like Guyana, people of every race.
Dr. Jagdeep further revealed that the list consists of organic supporters who share the party's vision. When we return, a major upgrade for national defense and good news for CSEC exam students. Don't go away. We'll be right back after this break.
The ExxonMobil Guyana Global Super League is back and it's bigger than ever. Defending champions, Rangpur Riders return to defend their crown. But the Warriors, the proud hosts, are ready to battle on home soil. The best from Australia, New Zealand, and the UAE join the fight for global glory. The ultimate test, the ultimate prize. It's the clash of the T20 champions. Get your tickets now at Warriors Box Office or GSLT20.com.
Welcome back. There's a new addition to Ghana's air fleet aimed at boosting security and support for remote regions. A major step in strengthening Guyana's national defense was taken yesterday as the Ghana Defense Force officially commissioned its newest fixed-wing aircraft, the Tecnam P-2012 STOL. At a simple ceremony at the Eugene F. Carrera International Airport, members of the joint services, government officials, and military leadership acknowledged the important role the new aircraft will play. Ignite News reporter Kaylee Carter was there and filed this report.
Thank you, Rihanna. I'm here at the Eugene F. Carrera Airport where the Ghana Defense Force has just commissioned its newest aircraft, the Tecnam P-2012 STOL. The Italian-made aircraft was acquired to improve access to Guyana's interior and strengthen the force's air operations. It's a part of a broader push to modernize the GDF's fleet and boost the nation's response capabilities.
Today is another remarkable day in this transformative journey of the Ghana Defense Force. It is punctuated by yet another significant and strategic acquisition for which we are celebrating at this commissioning ceremony.
The commissioning is a move to enhance the overall safety and monitoring of Guyana's airspace. The aircraft's short runway performance and low altitude handling makes it well suited for patrols, emergency responses, and support in remote regions.
Today is more than showcasing the acquisition of a sleek aviation asset. It is much more than that. It is a signal that the Air Corps continues to soar, continues to be stronger, and continues to be smarter. It attests our intention to build a more agile, more equipped defense force. For the wider nation, this commissioning ceremony sends an unmistakable signal. It sends a resounding signal to every Guyanese man, woman, and child. And yes, to anyone out there who thinks they can test the resolve of this republic. This plane, this acquisition, is part of our ongoing efforts at building a modern defense force, one that can patrol, protect, and provide, whether in times of peace, in times of peril, or in times of immense need.
The commissioning of the Tecnam P-2012 marked a significant upgrade in the GDF's operational reach. It reflected the continued investment in national security, territorial access, and interior support. Reporting from the GDF hangar at the Eugene F. Carrera Airport, I'm Kaylee Carter for Ignite News. Back to you, Rihanna.
Thank you, Kaylee. The Tecnam P-2012 joins the GDF's expanding fleet at a time when Ghana is accelerating both its defense modernization and its support for interior regions. The aircraft is expected to go into full operational use following pilot training and additional integration into the force's aviation plans. The government is making good on its promise to refund exam fees. Candidates who wrote this year's CSEC and CAPE exams will begin receiving refunds for exam fees starting July 14th. According to the Ministry of Education, students from both public and private schools, and even private candidates, will be reimbursed for up to 8 subjects. Those who receive no government subsidy will be refunded the full amount paid, while others will get back the difference they covered. To collect the refund, parents or guardians must present valid identification, including a national ID card, passport, driver's license, or confirmation from a school official or village sushao. If a parent can't collect in person, the ministry says an authorization letter can be used to assign someone else to collect the money on their behalf. Region-specific schedules will be posted on the Ministry of Education's official Facebook page. This refund initiative was announced last week by President Irfan Ali as part of government efforts to ease the financial burden on families. From classroom to training grounds, over 10,000 police ranks have benefited from training courses and more than 1,000 engage in higher learning with support from the state. This is according to Police Commissioner Clifton Hickens during his address at the Ghana's Police Force 186th Anniversary Award Ceremony 2025.
Between 2020 and 2025, 10,546 ranks benefited from 444 local conducted training courses, reflecting our deep investment in continuous learning. In support of higher learning and specialized skills, we have awarded 1,374 ranks with scholarships and sponsorship, while 697 ranks have successfully completed 110 overseas training programs. In further strengthening institutional learning, we have established memorandums of agreement with 20 academic institutions, ensuring our ranks receive training that is relevant to contemporary policing.
It was highlighted that these courses include foreign languages in Spanish, Portuguese, French, and Mandarin to address language barrier constraints given the influx of migrants within the country. Additionally, these ranks will complement the recently announced police tourism unit that will specifically cater to foreigners coming into the country. The dedicated police unit will be trained in customer service.
Communication and cultural sensitivity to enhance safety in our tourism zone. We have expats coming to Guyana, and we need to treat them with equal respect.
The Commissioner noted the importance of the unit as he pointed to the rise in tourism and the relevance of the sector. Meanwhile, an autopsy now offers new insight into the death of a Turkine businessman. A postmortem has confirmed that 24-year-old businessman Joshua Taylor died from blunt trauma to the head, injuries that may have resulted from either a fall or a hit. Police say Taylor's body was identified by his mother and brother. An autopsy was conducted by Dr. Nihal Singh at the Georgetown Public Hospital. Following an argument with relatives yesterday morning, Taylor allegedly confronted police with a weapon. After firing several shots in the air, he fled from officers into a nearby yard, where security guards subdued him. Shortly after being restrained, Taylor was found injured and rushed to the hospital, where he was pronounced dead. While media reports suggested Taylor might have been injured by police officers, the police in a statement say witnesses saw Taylor trying to scale a 7-foot gate when his pants got hooked, causing him to fall head first. Dr. Singh noted swelling of the brain and no signs of gunshot wounds or strangulation. A toxicology test is pending. In another investigative success, police have captured the prime suspect in last month's multi-million-dollar robbery at the Fantasy Game Lounge at Giffelon Mall. 21-year-old Rakamim Nicholas of West Rumvelt was arrested last evening at the KK Villa on Lime Street, working Rust, by detectives from the Criminal Investigation Department's Anti-Crime Patrol. Nicholas was standing at the entrance of the lodge when officers moved in around 7 p.m. A wanted bulletin had been issued for him following the June 22nd robbery, which involved a brazen attack on the gaming lounge and the theft of millions in cash. When police searched Nicholas, they found over $20,000 in cash and a cell phone. He then led them to Room 9, where officers recovered a black heavy sack containing a Glock 19 security firearm, loaded with 15 live rounds. Also found were his passport and a copy of the firearms license. Nicholas remains in custody as investigations continue into what police describes as a well-planned, high-stake robbery. When we come back, a high-profile legal dispute over a murder trial, and Ghana makes its mark at the regional chess tournament. Stay with us.
Fuel it up and drive, super 95, tune up. Fuel it up and drive, super 95, tune up. Protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guy Oil Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guyol's Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive.
Your business is built on hard work, vision, and the drive to succeed. At GBTI, we understand what it takes to grow. That's why we offer Grow, a small business service designed to help your business expand, adapt, and reach its full potential. From new opportunities to new milestones, we're here to support you every step of the way. Grow from GBTI. Progress starts here.
You're watching Ignite News on 6 at 6. Thanks for staying with us. Now to the courtroom, where a law firm is pushing back against police criticism. Law firm Hughes, Fields and Stobie has denied claims that it was unprepared or ill-prepared to prosecute the case of police versus Marlon Da Silva for the killing of Kenesha Vaughn. In a statement, the firm said it is a Guyana police force that has failed to provide statements and evidence to the prosecutors in a timely manner, as required by the court's directions. The Guyana police force, in a statement issued yesterday, said it intends to approach the Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP, to seek the revocation of the fiat granted to attorney-at-law Nigel Hughes in the ongoing murder case. The police force expressed concern over recent media reports alleging that the private prosecutor was ill-prepared to present the case, describing the situation as unacceptable in a capital offense matter. The force clarified that the matter is not being prosecuted by police prosecutors. Hughes was granted a fiat by the DPP to prosecute the case and has had sole conduct of the matter since March 17, 2025. Citing what he described as the private prosecutor's inability to successfully move the prosecution forward, the police force said it will raise the issue with the DPP, seeking revocation of the fiat. However, Hughes, Fields and Stobie stated that on every occasion the matter was called, it was ready and able to proceed with the prosecution. It stressed that the success of the case depends on whether police witnesses attend court and testify. The firm firmly denied being unprepared at any stage of the trial and reiterated that delays stem from the police force's failure to provide required statements and evidence in accordance with the court's orders. The law firm also said it welcomes a full investigation into any complaint lodged by the Guyana police force regarding its conduct in the prosecution of Marlon Da Silva. From legal strategy to chessboard tactics, Guyana's Team A delivered a strong performance at the 2025 CARICOM Classic Team Chess Tournament, finishing 5th in a field of 8 top regional contenders. The tournament, held at the Pegasus Suites in Georgetown, saw teams from across the Caribbean face off in an International Chess Federation-rated round-robin format. Guyana tailed 21.5 points with standard performances for woman candidate Master Aditi Joshi, who led the team with 6 points, and teammates candidate Master Tafin Khan and Kyle Couchman, who each added 5.5. Jamaica claimed the championship title with 29.5 points, narrowly beating Trinidad and Tobago, who placed second with 29 points. Suriname secured third with 25.5. Jamaica's Shreya Smith was named the tournament's top player, going unbeaten with 8.5 points. A major upset came in round 8 when Barbados ended Trinidad's win streak with a brilliant play by Imar Edwards. The event was backed by International Chess Federation and the Confederation of Chess for the Americas, and hosted by the Guyana Chess Federation, with the next classic set for 2027. In cricket, the Guyana Amazon Warriors fell just short in a nail-biting clash against the Rangpur Riders last night at the Guyana National Stadium. Playing in front of a packed home crowd, the Warriors lost by 8 runs in a high-energy encounter that lasted just under 2 hours per innings. Rangpur Riders won the toss and chose to bat first, putting up a solid 162 for 5 in their 20 overs. Kyle Mears top-scored with an unbeaten 44, while Sumaya Sankar added 35. Guyanese spinner Imran Tahir claimed 2 wickets, supported by Godikesh Moti, who also took 2. In response, the Warriors were bowled out for 154 in 19.1 overs, just 9 runs short. Despite a strong middle-order push, they couldn't recover after early setbacks. Rangpur's tight bowling and smart fielding in the death overs proved crucial. The match was played with all the flair of a Caribbean Premier League showdown, and if this is a sign of what's to come, fans are in for a thrilling season. England were bowled out for 387 on day 2 of the 3rd Test at Lord's, but Jasprit Burma's 5-wicket haul breathed life back into India's campaign. In response, India ended the day at 145 for 3, still trailing England by 242 runs. KL Rahul anchored the innings with a composed, unbeaten 53 from 113 balls. India lost opener Yashasvi Jaiswal early for 13, while Shreyas Nair chipped in with a quick 40 before falling to Ben Stokes. Shubman Gill added just 16 before edging one to the slips. Rishabh Pant joined Rahul at the crease and remained unbeaten on 16 as stumps were drawn. Earlier in the day, England looked poised for a bigger total before Burma's fiery spell wrapped up the tale. With 7 wickets in hand, India will look to Rahul and Pant to close the gap when play resumes on day 3. Still ahead, Jamaica achieves gender equality in education, increasing tariffs at Canada border, and a major win against human trafficking. Welcome back. Jamaica has made a strong showing on the Global Education Index. Jamaica has earned a spot among just 35 countries worldwide, offering equal educational opportunities for both boys and girls. That's according to the 2025 Global Gender Gap Report released by the World Economic Forum. The report, which assessed 148 countries, highlights Jamaica's continued progress in bridging gender gaps in education, economics, politics, and health. Education Minister, Senator Dr. Dana Morris Dixon welcomed the ranking, calling it a proud reflection of Jamaica's commitment to education as a pillar of national development. She credited ongoing efforts to break down barriers to access and promote gender equity, but emphasized that educational gains must now be matched by greater equality in the workforce and leadership roles. Jamaica ranked 38th overall in the Gender Gap Index, improving its score slightly from last year, despite a minor drop in position due to changes in country participation. Most notably, Jamaica ranked 19th globally for women's economic participation, outpacing countries like the US, Canada, and Australia. In the US, President Donald Trump continues to turn up the heat on trade, this time hitting Canada with a 35% tariff on imports starting August 1st. In a letter shared on the Truth social media platform, Trump warned Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney that the rate could go even higher if Canada retaliates. Canada responded on X, saying his government would continue to defend Canadian workers and businesses in talks with Washington. He also reaffirmed Canada's commitment to joint action on fentanyl, an issue Trump tied to the tariff hike. The new rate marks a sharp jump from the existing 25% tariff. However, goods covered under the United States-Mexico-Canada agreement, along with energy and fertilizer, are expected to remain exempt for now. Trump's move is part of a broader tariff blitz that now includes Brazil, Japan, South Korea, and possibly the European Union. Markets have already reacted, with U.S. and European stock futures dipping in Asia trading. Canada remains America's largest export market, making this latest tariff salvo a major test of cross-border economic relations. Finally, a major international crackdown on human trafficking has led to the arrest of 158 suspected traffickers and the rescue of nearly 1,200 victims across 44 countries. The week-long operation, called Global Chain, was led by Austria and Romania, with support from Europol, Frontex, and Interpol. It brought together law enforcement, border control, and labor inspectors from Europe, Africa, Asia, and South America. More than 276,000 checks were carried out at airports, border crossings, and other key locations, uncovering widespread exploitation in sectors like agriculture, construction, domestic work, and even forcing victims into crime. Several organized crime groups were dismantled in the process. Europol's executive director, Catherine de Boll, said the success of the operation shows the power of international cooperation and that each individual safeguarded from exploitation represents an invaluable success. Authorities say the fight continues with ongoing efforts to protect the world's most vulnerable from trafficking and forced labor. And that's all for this edition of Ignite News on 6 at 6. For more stories, visit ignitenews.com or follow us on social media. Thanks for watching. I'm Rihanna Nikram. See you next time for more Ignite News.